everybody knows who I am. I'm Dr. Stephanie Wall, the Tower of Power, your transformation architect. So who do we have here today?
My name is Beth Badour, and I am the proud owner and founder of The Creative Life by Design.
The Creative Life by Design. I love that. So tell me, I love the name. Tell me, how do you transform the world, Beth?
First of all, I believe that I'm a graceful leader in this world. Independently myself and how I present to the world and how I help women to transform. And with that, I listen to women, I guide women, and I help them with my coaching programs. And I developed a 5-step program that worked for me, going from a victim of my disease, my chronic kidney disease, to feeling like I am victorious. And I apply that to all different parts of my life. I have giving up, and I believe that I can help other women create this also.
Well, you answered my second question as to why you do what you do. So I love that. So also tell me this, my final question. What one word sums up your purpose?
Of course, transformation.
You all heard it right there. You know, we love the Transformers. All right, so listen, you all stay tuned right here. The next voice you'll be hearing won't be mine, it'll be Beth's. So stay tuned right here. Oh, this is gonna be juicy. It's always juicy, isn't it?
Hello. Remember, my name is Beth Badour, and I refer to myself as the kidney goddess. And if you can listen further, you'll understand why I call myself the kidney goddess. So I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine that you're standing or sitting in a comfortable position with your best friend, with your mother, someone who you really love. Maybe it's a son that's growing up. Think about that person and how you feel being with that person. Now, this person says they have to have a tough conversation with you. And they begin to tell you that they have a chronic disease. And this is going to be a difficult conversation. They know that there is treatment, not a cure, but a treatment for them to stay on this earth. But they're here to tell you that they feel like their life is complete. They've had their family, they've had their children, they've had their career. And you know what? They tell you to be honest and vulnerable with you. They are more afraid of living than dying. I'm going to say that again. I really want you to listen to this. And think about this person you love standing in front of you and having this truthful conversation with you. They are more afraid of living than dying. So they have decided, since they have this disease, they're not going to do the treatment. They are going to live their life loud and proud until it's time that God says it's time for them to go home. And they are going to go on hospice. How do you feel at this moment? Do you feel sad? Do you want to give them a hug? Do you want to shake them and say, get with it, you're staying here? How does that make you feel? Your loved one is standing there. Well, I will tell you, that was me. I was standing in front of one of my sons, and we have had this conversation several times. However, this time, I was truly listening. Maybe it was God speaking through my son to me. But I told him I have chronic kidney disease, and I have to go on dialysis and possibly get a transplant. I don't even know if I wanted to do that. And I worked at nursing homes, and I made an assumption. Do you know what assumption means? I sure do. I assumed I was going to be like my patients, that I was going to be suffering, that I wouldn't have quality of life. I would have to help people with exercise as a physical therapist after they did dialysis. And they were torn up. They were distraught. They were tired. All they wanted to do was take a nap. And they had to exercise. And I thought that was going to be me. So I had decided a long time ago I wasn't going to do any of this. And this is what my son came and said to me. And I finally got it because you can see I'm here. I got a kidney transplant. So it's not a sad story. It's a very happy story. So my son came and said, Mom, you are such a bright spirit. You're full of joy and laughter. And your sons need you. I need you to stay on this earth. So think about how I felt. This is my son coming to me and expressing his heart that he wants me to stay here on earth. And in that moment, I said yes to life. I said yes to being here. And I knew I had to transform how I thought about myself, the world, my mindset, my perceptions. My whole being had to change, transform, just not change, transform to stay here on this earth, right? And after we had the conversation, I thought about it. And I'm like, I'm staying here for Jonathan right now. He invited me to stay. Okay, I can go through this. I can do this. And then I realized I have to do it for me, not just for him, but for me. It's just like a diet or quitting smoking. How long am I going to do it if I'm doing it just for him? So I journaled this whole time. And then I realized that I came up with a process that worked for me, a 5-step process that works for me. And I'm going to tell you about that 5-step process. And I incorporate it into my coaching clients when I work with my coaching clients. Now, this is something that helped me to transform. However, when I listen to my coaching clients, when I guide them, facilitate them, I help them peel the onion because only they know what's going to work for them. And I help guide them through that process. I don't tell them what to do. Now, I do give them feedback and I will share some stories about me, but it's really all about them and them getting to the process from feeling a victim in their life. And I work with a lot of women who have severe chronic diseases and help them transform into a victor in their life, no matter what the circumstances is. If it's a divorce, it's losing their job, losing their home, anything like this. We can all have experiences in life. And I've decided I'm not going to consider it negative or positive. It is a human experience that I'm having. And then what lessons can I learn from that human experience so I can continue to make the best version of myself and transform into that best version of myself for the future? I have given up giving up, and so can you. Listen to that again. I was giving up in life. I was done. I was getting ready to get out of here. And I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. In all of my life circumstances now, I know I can do it. And if I can't do it just by myself, I can read a book, I can go to the internet, I can go to my best friend, I can go to a support group, whatever I need to do to feel like I'm still a victor and not go down that rabbit hole. I have decided I am going to stay here on earth and thrive rather than just survive. I'm not going to fight the disease. I'm going to go forward with grace and find out the answers and do the best that I can do at that moment. And that's what I hope my clients can do too. And that 5-step that helped me after I journaled was self-awareness, peeling that onion back, learning who I truly was, who I truly am in this moment. The good, the bad, the ugly, the yucky feeling that sometimes I'm like, wow. At one point in time, I thought that I had myself up on a box in a shelf in the dark in the corner. And I pulled that box down. This is a lot of imaging, but this is one of the things I did. And I started to pull out all the stuff, right? The good stuff, the bad stuff. And then I decided what was working for me, what was working for my partner, what was working for the world. And I got rid of all that other stuff, put it in the trash can, blew it up, whatever I needed to do to get rid of it, right? But I wanted to move forward. And in order to move forward, I had to be in self-acceptance of all these things I learned about myself and go, wow, that was bad. I used to be, I shouldn't say bad. I can learn better. I used to be passive aggressive. No longer am I going to do that. I'm going to serve the world by speaking my truth and present it from I feel this way, right? This is me. This is me being vulnerable and open and have a heart for myself and other people. And then the next step would be an action plan. However, if you do the same action plan every time, are you going to move forward into a new way of being? No way. Mm-mm. So I call it stepping left or shifting left. So you have a new mindset, new behaviors, new perceptions, like I said, about myself and the world and how I interact with the world. And I call it kind of like looking at the Coke bottle. You're sitting over there, I'm sitting over here. When we have the Coke bottle in between, you're going to see this side of it. I'm going to see this side of it. I'm going to go, well, this is my reality. And you're going to go, no, Beth, this is my reality. This is the right way. This is what's going on. And that's what I do inside of me. I kind of look at the world and then I decide, how do I want to look at it? How do I want to feel about it? How do I want to feel about myself? And then I listen to my intuition and my gut. And that leads me in the right direction 99.9% of the time. And I started with little things of what I could trust my gut with. And then all of a sudden I realized I could jump and I'd always have that parachute. You know why? Because the universe is always for you and for me. The universe is always there supporting us, even if it doesn't look like it at the moment, even if reality doesn't look like it at the moment. And I believe that wholeheartedly. That's what gets me through a lot of rough days, that the universe, God is always for me. So, like I said, my motto is I've given up giving up. And so can you. I want you to thrive in this world. I want you to be victorious in this world, no matter what comes up in front of you. And a lot of the times, you know what? It's really good things that we can celebrate the big and the little wins, right? It's all about celebrating those things in life and being in the present moment. Now I'm going to tell you where in the world is Beth Badour and how can you find her, right? My website is The Creative Life by Design because I create my life by design and you can too, right? My email is Beth@thecreativelife.by-design. And I also have an app called Teachable. And I have my own company there, my own school, Beth Badour School. And I talk about all these things that I do coaching with my clients. And I've also written some books because I'm also an author, and those can be found on Amazon. Never Say Never, Living with Kidney Disease from Victim to Victorious, and the workbook and journal that goes along with that if you choose to do the DIY. Do it yourself. I think I'm saying that right. So that's me, that's Beth Badour, and that's my story. And next, we're going to have some more fabulous women that are going to talk about their stories and think about all the pearls of wisdom that you're going to get from all these other women. So I hope everybody has a great rest of their day, and I hope to see you soon.